Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is ShadowShock here, and right now I'm going to be bringing you guys my first ever graphics design tutorial. I'm going to show you how to make a pop-out signature. Keep in mind that the pop-out technique can be applied to designs other than signatures, but for this example I'm going to be using a sig. If you don't know what a pop-out is, I'm going to show you the one that I made a couple of days ago that I'm going to use for this example, just so you can see exactly what it means when I say pop-out. Now you see here there's a physical black border that runs around the design, but then the shotgun seems to overlap that border and pop outside of it. So it seems to pop outside of the confines of the design, which is exactly what you want it to do. That is a proper pop-out design, and I'm going to show you how I made that. So, open a new canvas. I made mine 400 wide by 200 high. You can make yours whatever you need. And the first thing I'm going to do is rename this layer to border. Make sure black is my chosen color. And some of the shortcuts that I'm going to use in this video are custom. If you want to know how to change your shortcuts, go to Edit and then go to Keyboard Shortcuts, and you can customize pretty much every single shortcut that Photoshop uses and set up custom ones. So any ones that I use, I will say them out loud as I use them so that you know what they are and what the keys are, and you can set yours to be the same if you like any particular shortcut. So this one is Shift F4, and that brings up the stroke panel. I'm going to use a 3 pixel border, black color, inside the design. Oh, would help if I hit Control A first to select everything. Alright, and now I need to expand the canvas to be larger than that border. And that sounds impossible, but all you're going to do is hit Control-Alt-C to bring up your canvas menu, pixels, and I'm going to go with probably 450, and I'm going to click this button right here, this right arrow, which makes the canvas only expand in the left direction. Just like that. And now I'm going to open up my render file. And place it in there. Drag it below the border. Rename it render. Control T to bring up the transform menu. I hold shift whenever I transform something because that keeps it proportionate. And then I'm going to hit control. I'm going to hold shift and rotate it just once. And that looks about right. I like that placement. So now I've got my render placed where I want it. Actually, I'm going to move it over one more because I'm going to put a border on that in a second. And now I'm going to duplicate the render by hitting Control J, drag render copy below the render, rename it safe render. And that's just in case I ever need a backup of the render. I do that whenever I put the render in the design and get the placement set. That way if I ever need another copy of it, the unedited one, I have it. So now you're going to want to get this part of the border off the render. And the way that you can do that pretty easily is just click the border layer and then control click inside the layer preview of the render. Take an eraser, and any parts of the border that you click that are outside of the selected area will not erase. So if I click up here, it doesn't erase. If I click up here, it doesn't erase. If I click inside the render, it erases that part, which is what you want to do. You want to get the border off the shotgun. Just like that. So now I've gotten the border off the shotgun and it's a proper pop-out look. But I want to put a stroke around the edge of that shotgun. Now, if I just put a stroke on the render layer, obviously it's going to put a stroke around the entire render, which is what I don't want. But actually, that kind of comes in handy now because I realize that there's some crap around that render that needs to be gotten rid of. I don't know what that crap is, but it shouldn't be there. So I'm just going to erase it. There we go. Okay, now I can get rid of that stroke. Alright, so the way that I'm going to put the border around just the edge of that shotgun is I'm going to duplicate the layer. I'm going to rename it shotgun. And now I'm going to start a new canvas, 400 by 200. And I'm going to fill this layer with black. And now I'm just going to drag the layer over into our design. Put it up on top of everything else. Make sure it's placed right. Alright, and now I'm going to click the shotgun layer, control click inside of this fill layer preview, and I'm going to hit delete. And what that's going to do, if I unhide that and unhide the actual render, now you see the only part of that render copy layer that I named to shotgun, the only part that's left is the end of the shotgun. And that's good, because now what I can do is I can hit Control Shift N to make a new layer. I'm going to name it shotgun border. And I'm going to drag shotgun and shotgun border below the render, unhide the render, select just the shotgun border layer, hit Control click inside the shotgun layer there, and now I'm going to hit Shift F4 and I'm going to put a stroke on it. We'll try 2 pixels, and we'll go outside, see what that does. If I blow this up a little bit. What the hell is that? Alright, so what I'm gonna do, there's some funkiness right there. So I'm just gonna quickly put a stroke on the shotgun itself there. And I want to get rid of that, whatever that white is. I think it's supposed to be like a glow, but I don't like it, so I want to get rid of it. Now I'm just going to Control A on the shotgun border layer and delete that so that it'll delete the border. Then Control Shift inside, or Control click inside the shotgun layer preview again, and then just put that stroke on one more time. There we go, that looks a little bit better. Alright, now I've got the border on my shotgun. And from there, you're free to customize your actual design. So I can delete that that fill layer that I used earlier, and I can just close that, close the render. And now whenever you're putting stuff inside your canvas, so obviously you're going to want some sort of a background in there, you're going to have to make sure that it applies only to the inside of the canvas, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm just going to choose a random background, go with this one, drag it over to the design, make sure to put it below everything, drag it around, see what looks good. Alright, let's say I wanted that. Okay, so I wanted all of this that's inside the border to be the background. What I would do is take a square eraser, make it decent size, and all I would do is just delete everything that's outside of this border. So I would just put the edge of the brush about halfway through the border, then Shift, erase, just like that. And that gets rid of everything that's outside of the border so that it keeps the background inside and keeps the pop-out theme. Another thing to note is that when you apply gradient maps, actually a better example would be a photo filter. If you apply a photo filter, we'll go with a blue one and we'll make it really strong just for this example. You see how it is not applying the filter outside of this this border here? If there is any part of anything that is even slightly left outside of the border, so just for an example, I'll drag another copy of this background in here, put it below this filter, hide the filter, and then just erase, slightly erase. So let's say the opacity was only at 95 on your brush when you erased this part of the background. See, it looks like it's erased, but it's actually, if I hide it, you see how it actually gets a little bit brighter in the area that's outside the border. Now when you put that photo filter back on, this area over here is actually going to be slightly affected by that photo filter. And just to give you a better example, I will unerase that and put the brush opacity to, let's try 85 and see what that does. Because if it's not completely erased but looks like it is completely erased, you're going to run into problems. Because then when you actually render your design, I'll just show you what's going to happen. So Control Shift S, save this on the desktop as test, ping, you see that right on the edge there? That's what's going to happen. That's why you need to make sure that when you erase anything that is outside of that border, that you erase it completely. So make sure your brush is set to a regular brush, meaning not a soft brush, but a regular brush, and make sure that the opacity is 100. Otherwise, it's going to screw things up for you. So that's how you make a pop-out, guys. I really hope that this tutorial was easy to follow and detailed. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you have any comments, those are always welcome. I would really love the feedback. I would really love to know what you guys think and if you want me to make more tutorial videos. So please be as informative and detailed as possible, and be sure to leave me links in the comment section to any pop-outs that you make using this tutorial video. I'd really like to see what you guys can come up with. So I hope you enjoyed it, and have a nice day, guys. All right, bye.